Alright guys, I'm back. I'm gonna show you what I created, and then if you like it, stick around and I'll show you how to make it yourself. Um, the way I decided to make this gameplay ability was I was watching a video on Rage 2, and I saw this interesting gameplay mechanic, and it was basically an ability. It was like this almost like grenade that creates a vortex which sucks everything into it, and then basically blows everything out, and I will show you what I mean by that. Alright, so if I hit square, it throws my little vortex thing, and it shoots everything up, freezes everything that was pretty much in the that was caught in the vortex for a second. You basically can shoot at everything that was kind of frozen for a little bit, and then it um, basically drops them down to the ground, so either they're dead or whatever. Alright, I'll show you that one more time. Alright, and then it again freezes them. Alright, thought that was pretty good. Alright, I'll show you how that is done. Alright, so first off, really all you need is, again, this emitter. It doesn't, wherever you want to put it, whatever button is, again, you could open this computer controller logic is, if we exit this out, we exit that, exit this. Again, what I do is, just to show you why it's already on, I take off this, turn on X-ray, and then it's that much easier. So L1X opens it up, it's in your controller logic, and here's the emitter. Alright, so you want to put an emitter here. Again, L1 square will open up. You can put it on any button you want. Alright, so L1 square, click an emitter. That is gadgets in, what the heck am I doing? Movers and outputs. Right there, and you put your emitter down. Alright, the next step is, the next step is, what you're going to want to do is go into modes, sculpt, get a sphere. Alright, bring it down, stamp it down, and then you have your sphere. Alright, so now this is what we're going to be emitting. This is going to be our grenade, basically. This is the one I created right here. This is the one I'm just going to show you quickly. So L1 square, again, just type, I'm going to open this one up. Come on, why aren't you letting me? There we are. Alright, so this is the sculpture that basically the grenade that I already have. So I need to copy everything there. Alright, there's nothing changed here, so this is the one we want. So we want it to be movable, collidable. We want it to have, it doesn't, I was making something different, so you don't need to change this. This is for something else. And all that's fine. Collides with everything but friend. And we want to tag ourselves as a friend. Alright, so there you go for that. Alright, so we have that. What we're going to want to do to this is we're going to want to stick a microchip to it. Alright, now this is going to be, I'll show you all the stuff inside of it. So if we want to put a microchip on it, we're going to go to logic and processing, microchip, and then I always do this when the guides are on. It won't let me snap it. So again, L will snap it, and then right when you see it go kind of flat, hit X, and then when it's like flat, you know it's snapped to it. Alright, so I'm gonna open this up. Now again, this is gonna be what we're gonna be emitting, basically our grenade. Alright, So quickly about the emitter, put it at this 5.5, 0, ignore rotation, time in between emits, that could be 0, it doesn't really matter. Once, local space, emitted object lifetime 20 seconds, it's fine. 0, 0, and that should be it for that. Alright, there's nothing here. Alright, so what we have here is, and I'll explain all of this. This is our force supplier, right? What this is going to do is, alright, we don't even need this anymore. Alright, so again, this is the ball I'm using, and I'll just show you what this is. The one you guys just created, and you're going to put all this stuff into here. Alright, so I'm just going to explain this. Alright, your force supplier, right? I guess I should, no, that's alright, I'm not even going to do that. The force supplier, L1 square, again, we're going to just copy these 100%, 1.5 force speed, 0, and this is going to pull it. Alright, this one's going to pull. Alright, you want it radial. So, and sphere, I made it 7.4 and 0 fall off. Alright, this is, again, it detects everything but friend. Don't want to detect ourselves, because when we emit it, it's gonna like suck us towards it. We don't want that. Alright, so that's that. Alright, and again, right when you put this on here, alright, so that's that. Alright, so again, this is only gonna start when right when it emits. Alright, so the reason for this timer is going to start right, so we want it to basically put this timer on, so in 3 seconds, so it's basically going to suck everything towards it for 3 seconds, right? So it'll suck everything towards it for 3 seconds, and then you're going to want a keyframe, right? And then what that keyframe is, I'll show you the keyframe. Right, this keyframe is going to go on right when you drop it on to the microchip, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to hit this as an put X on this, and when you see these little dashes, that means that it's been edited. So when this keyframe is active after the 3 seconds, it's going to turn this off. All right. So then you can stop recording. And then I'm going to just delete mine because I'm going to show you, if I just click on it, if I hit X on it, it shows that it's being edited. Alright? Again, it's off until the 3 seconds is up, and then it turns this off. And then if you click on this with X, it again shows it's been edited, circle, and then there you go. Alright, so what we're going to want here is, we're going to want this timer going to a signal manipulator. You don't really need the signal manipulator, but I just feel like it seems to work better. I don't believe you need it, but I just put it there. So again, signal manipulator. I don't find any issues with it, and it seems to be working slightly better with it. And again, I put it signal manipulator. I put it here. All this is 0, and again, after this passes through the signal manipulator, you're going to want a destroyer, alright? Because you're going to want the grenade to basically blow up and disappear. And then this, you're going to want a force applier. And what you're going to want to do is make the force applier literally the same size as that force applier, alright? Same exact size. So you can see that it's where is it? Yeah, and you can, yeah, that's really it. And if you want to move it around, you move it around by this little, if you're trying to get it in the same exact spot, just move it around with this. So if you see, if I take this open, they're both right there, those little circles. So yeah. Alright. So, alright, so this force applier now has 100% strength. It's 13.6, whatever that is, meters a second. I don't know what that is. Force on stroke 0, and this one's going to push everything. It's going to be radial. Again, sphere. The zone size is 5.6, and no fall off. And this is going to be tagged again, foe, everything except for friend, because we don't want it to shoot us in the air. Alright, so, and then you're going to need this gyroscope. So, the reason for the gyroscope is when, if you don't keep it upright, basically, when it's spinning, it's not going to shoot the, it's basically, it's not going to shoot everything up in the air. It's going to shoot it in all different, like, basically all different directions. Like, you always want to be shooting up. In this sense, it'll be shooting it, I believe, if I take this off, let me see. Oh, there's the little ball we made. Hang on. I believe it won't always say, like, it's not, it'll give it all different. Watch, and we'll do it again. Oops, what am I doing? Watch, if I keep doing it without the gyroscope, say not shooting it that way, and then sometimes it'll shoot it straight down pretty much, where nothing really gets shot in the air. So that's why you need the gyroscope. Alright, and the gyroscope, that is in your, again, movers and outputs, and that should be right at the front, the first one, gyroscope. Alright, and I'll show you what that is. Again, you want to put this at 999. If you want to, instead of dragging it all the way, hit L1 square, and that you can just type in. I just put in a bunch of 9s really fast. Keep all line axis, so you want to keep this upright. 100% strength, 100% dampening, and that's that for that. Alright, so that's basically everything we have. So what you do now is you're going to want to get, I'm going to just get my emitter. Well, again, you're going to want to take the emitter that you have off of the button you want. And where is our little ball? Alright, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take, when you open up the emitter, you're going to drag it to this, alright? And then you want it to, of course, to be facing, now you're going to drag yours, you want it to be emitted from, alright? So this will, wherever you put this, this is where it's going to emit from. Basically, it's going to like appear. Alright, so you want that, and then we want to put guides back on. Because we don't, the reason for this arrow is it says it's going to emit it, and it's going to go this way. We don't want that. We want it to emit grid snap, so we can just kind of, and you're going to, with R2, you're just going to drag it forward, because you want it to be emitted forward. Alright? And that's basically all of, oh yeah, and then you want to open your puppet up, and you're going to want to have him tagged as, I think we show this or not, I'm not sure, but labeled as friend. Alright? And that's basically everything for the projectile, and everything but this stuff, alright? So now, everything is working fine. It's going to pull those objects, right? And the only way it will pull those objects is again, say I copy this object, L1 square, if you open it, it's not movable at first, alright? You have to make it movable. Alright, so what I did was I just copied one of these, L1 and R2, and then I just colored it white. And if you want to do that, I just went into modes, what is it, coat, colors, I went to this, and then white, and then R2, just all the way until, that's basically that. Alright, so quickly, let me show you what I have. Don't mind all these, you only want to make one, and then you can copy all these. Alright, so let's just show you what the sculpture is. So we have it as movable, collidable, and 50 density collides with everything, and this will be tagged as an object. All right. So now we're gonna put a microchip on this, and again, you get your microchips and gadgets. Logic and processing microchip. All right, you snap it on again by L1, and then open it up with L1X. All right, so L1X opens it up. All right, so in this, all right, so with this, we're gonna want a trigger zone. All right, so this trigger zone is going to detect a label, and that label is friend. Oh, so that's another thing that I did not show you. So yeah, so again, if you go to this, this is tagged as friend. I guess we could tag it as, should have probably tagged it as like weapon or something like that, but whatever. I did tagged it. You can tag it as, label it as anything. Probably label it as, I don't know, target or something, or weapon. Probably weapon would probably be best. All right, but I already messed that up for now. I mean, I can go back and change it, but I'll do that after. All right, so this is tagged as friend, and so what this is going to do is you're going to want to put down a trigger zone into the microchip, and kind of just make it fairly big, because you want it to detect that. Once it detects that little ball or grenade, it's gonna start a timer. All right, and you want that timer to be a little bit more than the timer you had on, on this timer. Now this timer was 3 seconds, so you'd want it to at least be a little more than 3 seconds. It could be whatever you want it to be, really. 3, 4, depends on what's going to happen is, when this is detected, so hang on one sec. Oh, alright, that's what this, I don't know why it was. Alright, so without these microchips, I don't know why I'm, sorry for that little, I don't know, brain freeze. But everything is, basically, you don't, this is, the part that I'm going to do next is this part. Alright, so basically we have everything. We have the pull, and we have the push, right? But we don't have is this freeze here, and then drop. Alright, and that's what's attached to the cubes. Alright, hopefully this, you're understanding this. Alright, so everything we have here with our grenade and all this logic here is really all you need for that pulling and then exploding outwards. But now we wanted to go a little further, where we wanted to kind of make the cubes or your enemies freeze in the air for a few seconds. So if it's like a shooter or something like that, like Rages, you can basically, or Rage 2, you can actually just like shoot at them, you know, because they might not be dead by the explosion. So that's what we have here. All right, and that's why we have this timer. We want this timer to be a couple of seconds more, because once it's detected, you want it to freeze after they've already launched in the air. All right, so all you need to do is put a trigger zone around a cube. Again, I have it as, again, sometimes you're gonna have to mess around with the trigger on this, because you know, you might want to make it a little bigger, a little smaller, but a little bigger is always better. All right, so again, tag label, tag label, click that label. I had it at 2.3, 2, 2.1, 0, then this, it's a square. And then it only detects friend. All right, I want it to be friend, because if I happen to, I believe if the character just walks up to it, it would just freeze. So you wouldn't want that. So just make sure to make it something different. All right. Yeah, because if the character again walked up to it without after actually throwing the grenade, it would just freeze, or like the player or like the enemy would just freeze. That would be fairly stupid. All right, so we have that, and we're gonna plug that into a timer. And the reason for this timer is you want it again to be a little bit longer. I guess I explained that. A little more than 3 seconds. So it'll freeze after 4 seconds. So it will, yeah, exactly. All right, so we have this, and then we want this to, we want to put a mover on this, all right? And with this mover, this will make it stop, all right? So what you want is, all you want on this mover is to put it down to 0 and put 100% speed, 100% strength and 100% damping, and this is what's going to make it stop, all right? You just leave this all like this, there's nothing here, and then what you want is, of course, you don't want them to stay there forever, right? So what you want to do here is, this is you're gonna put a timer finish signal into the mover, right? So after the whatever 4 seconds, it's gonna freeze up there. So you have it going to here, the mover, and to another timer. And this timer is gonna make it so they can fall back to the ground, because you don't want them stuck up there forever. And this is gonna be 2 seconds, so they're froze up there for like 2 seconds, giving you 2 seconds to kind of just start shooting at them or whatever. All right, and then this is going to go to the keyframe, and what this keyframe is going to do is it's going to power off this, just like we did with this over here with this keyframe. We powered off that one. So all you need to do is do that. You have your keyframe just like that, and then you're gonna, again, you want it to go to the keyframe, and then timer finish pulse, you want it to reset timer, and that will make it so actually without the reset timer they won't fall to the ground. And that's basically it. All right, that's it. So let me know if you guys like this, if this was helpful, something that you might be able to use in your game. You know, I like it, but you guys let me know what you think, and I guess I will see you guys in the next one. All right, peace.